Hey. Uyo alebwele la posori.
Uyo nile sawa salire sori. Tapale fotunga chikapwe woso.
Chambo chanoa waba muwato wanoa nokuwamba na tubomba sofa tatuakaleke sori. Muchambo chanoa waba muwato wanoa nokuwamba na tubomba sofa tatuakaleke sori.
Alebwele la po, na futi, alebwele la po 2021, alebwele la po, alebwele la po, alebwele la po. Sometimes ila fwa ikawa baula, weka feno chidionse kudandaula. Sometimes ila fwa ikawa tasha, natuwomba nolo batila tabalasha. Mwana fechalo cheso pochawama, tola abukeri dine tola samwa. Woso wiantanshu utabamona, valolela fedefwe wotukapona. Wena vaishi wapyo kukondema, tapari wababwino kama obena. Katiwe na nilesa fe wasala, gani wena ngatwa bafe munsala. Solini
Uyo alebwele la posori.
Uyo nile sawa salire sori. Tapale fotunga chikapwe woso.
Chambo chanoa waba muwato wanoa nokuwamba na tubomba sofa tatuakaleke sori. Muchambo chanoa waba muwato wanoa nokuwamba na tubomba sofa tatuakaleke sori.
alebwele la po, na futi, alebwele la po 2021, alebwele la po, alebwele la po, alebwele la po.
Vantote mavuta chabe kutasha na pamineti una tifuna kushusha. Mshito ya mbakale asirize. Sorry, time has come to lay a muku vota. Evotela komanda. Sorry, time has come to lay a muku vota. Evotela komanda.
Uyo alebwele la posori.
Uyo nile sawa salire sori. Tapale fotunga chikapwe woso.
Chambo chanoa waba muwato wanoa nokuwamba na tubomba sofa tatuakaleke sori. Muchambo chanoa waba muwato wanoa nokuwamba na tubomba sofa tatuakaleke sori.
Alebwele la po, na futi, alebwele la po 2021, alebwele la po, alebwele la po, alebwele la po.
Nichiuta wapangile buze kabidili wapangile fyonse tetinkane tetinchinje akasanka chemwine amulekeni ateke alasakamana na balwele tawaishi baleka nkwebe mulekeni asunke iyo abola. Uyo alebwele la posori.
Uyo nile sawa salire sori. Tapale fotunga chikapwe woso.
Chambo chanoa waba muwato wanoa nokuwamba na tubomba sofa tatuakaleke sori. Muchambo chanoa waba muwato wanoa nokuwamba na tubomba sofa tatuakaleke sori.
Alebwele la po, na futi, alebwele la po 2021, alebwele la po, alebwele la po, alebwele la po.
me say about that talk, wait, no man not to quarter. Balungu, Nadama Bombeni. Nino in any stone, tattoo level and get our bomba. Balungu, Bombeni. Never opposition, you will let the shade to a bomba. Balungu,
Sikida Bamjaba Mulonge Utera what Mulembwe 5 billion te Utera African Kambi Batera So Bana Tena Kambi Balada Opposition Yalada Nakambi Alada
Simple by looking it but it's tough for me action Lungu I'm a shara boss and follow Lungu, I'm a shara boss and follow Lungu, I'm a shara boss and follow Lungu, I'm a shara boss and follow Lungu. Sure.
Watupangira na maburiti miseba shamulwelele Poshite sina nungu wamipale mulungu mutima mupitirishe Samya desi ya riti Walibombele sepya lungu Ushiteshe mwana wandoshi Walibomba kulwa pula Saudeni na mchinga Lusaka na kopara Nikwisa kota wabomba lunguwe Piye Son tapa shele wetu bombele po Piye Son tapa shele wetu bombele po No Ukuma baba lungu Kweka kule sonta Kweka kule sonta Atisha kwali wina kaleima Ukuma baba piye puye Kule langa
Bantu balungu Mwe watone nuku futi na futi mwe Mupolisi kampuna mbapata mwagana mwandaba mayo Bali bakulira mayanda mayo Noloti setting ya malaita pataya ya mayo Italo bali wamyapa wembo anatarala mayo
Ukuma baba lungu Kweka kule sonta Atisha kwali wina kaleima Ukuma baba piye puye Kule langa Ukuma baba lungu Kweka kule sonta Atisha kwali wina kaleima Ukuma baba piye puye Kule langa I will not allow. Just like I will not allow the Patriotic Front to die, I will also not allow factions within the party. I will also not allow opportunistic individuals to destroy the party.
Hear this. Therefore, after and deep reflection and wide consultation, including prayer, following negative by those in power to annihilate the biggest opposition party, PF in Zambia today, the PF, using their stooges and institutions of governance, I have decided to return to active.
Good evening, viewers. Good evening, viewers. My name is Himba Malambo, and I'm welcoming you to the program. Let's talk politics, and I'm just waiting for my colleague Lawrence to join us in the studio. Hope Omli.
Epotuli, how are you, Himba?
I'm fine, thank you. Shachimi Mona. But how was your day?
The day has been brilliant. I can't complain. How's been your day that side?
Not really. I can't complain. Over to you, my dear.
Okay, so we welcome the viewers to this live broadcast where we are still looking at the developments in the Patriotic Front. Quite a lot has happened over the last, I can say the last week or so. In fact, over a week now. And it's been drama after drama after drama after drama. And it's really, really very hard for us to even keep up with what is happening in the Patriotic Front. And we are trying our level best to ensure that you, the viewers out there, get the platform that you deserve to have your chance to air out your views and also to be updated with everything that is happening with regards to the Patriotic Front and the current drama that is going through, the current drama that they are going through. Now, Himba, on Sunday we were talking about everything to do with the return of His Excellency, the former Republican president, that is Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. He has thrown in his gloves into the ring, and he's saying he is actually willing and very much ready to fight. We had our reaction, Himba, that was on Sunday, and maybe you can just give our viewers a bit of a recap of things that we were looking at on Sunday.
Thank you so much, and good evening, viewers, once more, wherever you're watching us from. Whether it's morning or afternoon or in the evening, we greet you and welcome to the program once more. Pa weekend, twalela ndeli ashia batata balungu ukuwelera mu politics. But Tata Balungu, it's no longer a secret. He's back into the political arena, and he's saying he's ready. Tetwalekerere party yabapele chance ukuthi babe bakateka bateke ekyalo kyesu kya Zambia baleyitamba ifwe. So he says he's coming back, or he's claiming he's coming back to protect the party that belongs to him and the party that made him, or that gave him the opportunity to be the president of Zambia. And this move was received with mixed feelings, and some of the people are happy in the Patriotic Front and some are not happy. Some of the Zambian people outside the Patriotic Front are happy. Some are not happy. And they've got, each and every person, they've got their own views why they are reacting in a way they are reacting. This was the discussion we had. However, we've had a lot of happenings. To alabako neri ashiri abonga. Na high cost of living na tulabako, because issue after issue, letters after letters, court after court, parliament after parliament. Anava keeping ako busy. Lawrence, unavesha. Over to you.
Well, they have really kept us busy, and if I can quote what one parliamentarian was saying actually during lunchtime, that is our I've forgotten that is the honorable given the last name has gone, but she's the MP for Chelenge. She was talking about the same thing actually during lunchtime this afternoon, where she categorically stated that she feels the government is just trying to divert our views from the real happening, from things that are actually concerning us, the citizens, to things that are irrelevant, like issues that are happening in the Patriotic Front. She has brought out quite a number of questions to say, when have we ever seen a police give that kind of protection to to an opposition political party's infrastructure in the history of Zambian politics? This is the first time that she has seen police go blazing hot protecting Patriotic Front infrastructure, and it's really something fishy according to her. And she says that it is actually very suspicious, and she feels like people should be looking at the real things that are happening in the country, things to do with the prices of milk. We can talk about the exchange rate, which actually today we are looking at 22.3 kwacha to $1. Those are the things that we should be paying attention to, and not the things that are happening with Mao Sampa and Edgar Lungu and the other factions, whatever is happening, whether Sim 1 or Sim 2 of the Patriotic Front. Himba, those are some of the reactions that we have so far gotten from some people in politics. Let us welcome, I'm sure this is Mukelabai, is it?
No, it's Wiseman.
Oh, Wiseman. Thank you so much, Wiseman, for finding time to be with us. Good evening.
Good evening, comrade, and good evening, Madam Himba.
Good evening, Wiseman. Nali kufuluka my brother Pauli.
Panombali nalia kumumpanga. Yeah, so I'm allowing now.
Iwe tufuna tukateria sheria kulanda. Lawrence, just to react to what you're saying.
I thought we should
just to react to what you're saying.
Let us get started with the program now. Here is what is happening now. Let's move on from Sunday. We had a very good interaction on Sunday, and then we came back on Sunday, and today we come back to continue and pick up from where everything is as at now. So let me just give maybe a small background of where we are right now with regards to the Patriotic Front. So on Monday, on Sunday actually, while we were talking, things were happening at the PF Secretariat, where police had to fire some rubber bullets to disperse some Patriotic Front cadres who had gathered there after news had broken through to say His Excellency Mr. Edgar Lungu will be giving a press briefing at the PF Secretariat at 12 hours on Sunday.
Point of correction, Lawrence, not His Excellency, former. Can you add former, please, as we are addressing him?
I think the title of His Excellency goes with it. Wherever he goes, is going to be His Excellency. It is just like that. It doesn't fade away when someone leaves office. He's a former Republican president, but he still maintains it. He's still His Excellency.
His Excellency, former president of Zambia.
Exactly. So, when everything happened like that, we heard of quite a lot of noise that was happening on Sunday, and that noise actually poured through into Monday, where we are told some of the officials from the Patriotic Front, that is, I don't know if I should call them Sim 1 or Sim 2, but let's put it like this for the sake of clarity to our viewers. When we talk about Faction 1 in this case, we shall mean the Given Lubinda-led Patriotic Front or the Edgar Lungu-led Patriotic Front. And when we talk of Faction 2, we are looking at the Mao Sampa-led. So we are told that on Monday, the leader of SIM2 or Faction 2, that is Mao Sampa, had actually told the police to say the secretariat should be guarded, and that meant that the leaders of SIM1 or Faction 1 who had gone to do their usual duties at the secretariat had to be ejected. Wiseman, how do you react to that? Do you think it was actually a wise move by the police to go and eject the Given Lubindas of this world? Also, we can talk of the Raphael Nakachindas who were already in the secretariat, had to be removed, and also denied entry to the former Republican president.
Yeah, I think, Lawrence, that is a very straightforward matter if someone were to understand it in a sober way without adding any emotions. Mao Sampa held that convention of his, and he was imaged as the PF president, number one. Then the court has again ruled in favor of Mao Sampa. The first ruling, it was in favor of Mao Sampa. After that ruling was done by the court, then the Given Lubinda PF-led group appealed that ruling which came from the court. When they appealed, Mao Sampa wrote a letter, being the PF president, with the favor of the ruling. He wrote a letter to the police and asking the police to secure PF secretariat and not to allow anyone to enter, whether from Mao Sampa's camp or from Given Lubinda, the rest is camp, until the ruling from the court, of which even the same people from Given Lubinda and ECA group, they are aware about that. So the wise thing they were supposed to do, they were supposed to wait for the court ruling, then they follow the normal procedure. But they went there for them to have a sympathy. What the police did, Lawrence, it's a good thing, because I can assure you, if police never went there again, in an event that there were some confusions and fight elapsed, I can assure you the same people who are blaming the police today could have been again blaming the police to say, why didn't the police came to give security to the former head of state? So in another way, that was one way of protecting the former head of state, and that was in another way of protecting what one citizen requested in the name of Mao Sampa. Remember, our constitution says no one is above the law, and in the eyes of the law, we are all equal. So if me, I request for the police presence at my property, which I feel like it's my property, as we are waiting for the ruling from the court, the police will give it to me. This is the same opposition, Lawrence. When they say, police says we have got no manpower, you hear them crying. Where is the manpower? When we give them manpower again, they are crying. So for me, what the IG and his colleague did, that's something recommendable, and all well-meaning Zambian has to recommend that. That's my take on that question.
Wiseman, actually, you have brought out a very good point there when you say when these opposition political parties want to have rallies to do with campaigns, rallies to do with citizen engagement, police. But on this particular one, where it is about removing some people from the secretariat, manpower was found without even worrying. Actually, in most cases, these political parties are made to apply for these meetings at least 2 weeks before the meetings are held. But even when they do that, manpower is never there. Now that Mao Sampa wrote within a day and manpower was found, don't you think some people, some sections of the of society have got grounds to act suspicious and to be suspicious, in fact, of how the police is seemingly doing things in with double standards?
Yeah, some people with emotions, they will still look for negative things in out of everything which the government is doing. So when you are lucky, you in an event you requested for manpower and manpower is found, you are lucky. That you are lucky because it's there. That doesn't mean that they know because they are supporting Mao Sampa. Mao Sampa is not UPND. Mao Sampa is PF. Is an who is our rival, likely to be our rival. So why should we be? It's us now giving Mao Sampa the support. Who is going to be our rival? Mao Sampa has never said he's going to make an alliance with UPND. No, Mao Sampa is a PF president and he is standing on the opposition. So by the time Mao Sampa requested, police were available, and moreover, that's a CBD, Lawrence. It's a CBD. If at all any commotion happen there, those are the same locality where people previous years were dying through riots. And you know the behavior of PF cadres led by Edgar Chagwarungu. You know the behavior. You even saw immediately announced he is coming back. You saw what was happening in Lusaka. PF started controlling, cadres started controlling traffic in Lusaka. So police went there for the sake of protecting the private properties. There's a filling station neighboring there. Imagine if those people started burning tires there, and then there's a filling station neighboring there. What will happen? So police now they are available. Even if they request for a rally, as long as it's campaign time, I'm sure they're going to be given security. So security was there, and let them wait for the ruling from the court. That's my take.
Okay, let me bring in Himba, Himba, it was quite interesting to see the former head of state actually trying to find a way in which to have a conversation with the police inspector general. They drove to the police headquarters, and they met one officer who has actually become so much of a familiar figure now, in that a lot of PF members are even mentioning his name. That is Mr. Yui, who actually told them that he will not allow them to see the police inspector general. Questions coming out from that is, don't you think the inspector general is holding a public office and must be accessible to give responses to citizens when they need answers from him?
First and foremost, allow me to thank the PF government before they left power, that they bought a lot of equipment in the police force. I would say thank you so much, because they left the police very equipped.
Police force, it's police service. It's Zambia Police Service.
Thank you for that correction, and I'm so grateful. Lekamba Tashe, let me say thank you for those equipments, because we saw those equipments coming in shortly before the elections, and I'm sure they knew that such a moment will come when these things will be needed to be used, which we are so grateful. You know what happened, past secretariat, as Wiseman has already said, for me, that was a plus. The police did a great job. Apa PF and the violence, they are inseparable. Those two, they move together. PF Sim A. The PF team led by former president, who is this, Edgar Lungu. They are inseparable with they are inseparable when it comes to violence. As Wiseman has already said, the moment we saw the former president coming back, we actually saw the cadres starting controlling traffic in some parts of Lusaka. So the police, what they did, it was great, and they did a recommendable job, and we pray that they continue doing that to maintain peace and order in our country. Even if they cry about no Mao Sampa was given, if you request, me, I would love when people are debating or they are complaining, they'll say, Inena Ali Lombaba Kapokolo on such a day, we were denied. And then, because these police, what they are doing right now, the police officers, it's what they were trained by the PF. This is exactly what was happening in the PF. This is what they set the mindset of these police officers. Now, the UPND has only been in power for 2 years, and you expect to change their mindset, you know. And then we are not going to go by PF there, Balila, security, because in the PF regime, during their time, they never followed the law. So such things never existed. So for them, these things to start existing now, it's a shock. However, I would love to actually, it's so embarrassing to see our former president, Kuyambo Pishana na Wakapokola. To negotiate. I think he's above this level. And this is why some of us, we are concerned about his decision to come back into politics. This is just an embarrassment. This is just something that should not even happen. Even if people are saying, yes, he's coming, this is just an embarrassment. He should just sit back, remain as a statesman, giving advice, representing Zambia at different platforms. This would have been very, very grateful for us. I submit.
Okay, let me take this opportunity to welcome Mukelabai, who has just joined us. Mukelabai, Kibusirisha. Mwazua.
I'm sorry, guys. I came in late because I was thinking the program is starting in 1 hour because we changed time here. So we are 1 hour behind, or rather 1 hour ahead. I don't know whichever. But thank you for having me.
Interesting. While you are at it, Mukelabai, we are talking about the scenes that we saw yesterday, where the former Republican president, that is Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, led quite a significant group of PF members of the Central Committee to the police force, to the Zambia Police Service headquarters in Lusaka, to go and seek audience with the Inspector General of Police for them to understand why they are being denied access into the Secretariat. And the officers they found there actually denied them access to the Inspector General of Police. Although later on they were told that they would meet the Inspector General of Police in the afternoon. Now, I want to hear from you. Holding an office such as that one of the Inspector General of Police, doesn't it mean that it's a public office and people should have access to you? Citizens should have access to you when they need answers from you.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Lawrence. The noise you hear in the backyard, I'm actually driving, but I'm following. The issue is that yes, you are right. The police are open to everyone, including the former head of state. He has the right. He had access. They have access to the police, so they can go at any time. To meet the police. But now they have to understand one thing: not every request that is demanded by the police, by the public, can be accessed by the public. So unfortunately, the police have the prerogative of deciding saying yes or no, and they have their own reasons to why they can either refuse or they can either say yes. It is not automatic that the police must, because when you go to the police and caught them unaware, they have other programs or they have other important meetings, and then you want to hold them at ransom just because you have made an announcement that now you are back in the political arena without any portfolio, without any office. The police have to first of all wait and see. They have to ask for commands. They have to get permission as well. He knows very well, Bolungu knows very well, that there is a commander-in-chief. The Inspector General does not just operate on his own accord. He has to get some instructions. And in this case, we have the president as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, HH. Now, if HH was busy on that particular day, they cannot hold him at ransom as well and make a decision. They want him to make a decision just because Chimbakambi want to use the toilet. No ways. No ways. And unfortunately, they have to abide by the rule or by the current sheriff in town. Lungu has come back, yes, we welcome him. He is welcome. But the question is, in what capacity? As the ex-head of state or as the PF want to be a prospective president? Because right now, if it was Samba who asked, because he is the president, he has a portfolio already. He could have just asked, and the police may have resonated with him. But this time around, Lungu, in what capacity is he coming to? If anything happens there, Lungu has immunity. He can break the law. He can do anything whatsoever. Nobody can arrest him. You know that. Nobody can arrest him, including the police. So,
okay,
the police are very much at liberty to either tell the ex-president who has decided to wake up from hibernation to wait until he made consultation. The IG was right. And those police officers were right. And they're trying to maintain law and order because we know.
Let me just cut you short a little bit because I'm looking at the News Diggers newspaper today where Mr. Edgar Chagwalungu is actually stating that that is the front page. If you read the front page of the News Diggers, it says, "I'll seek my right in politics. If you think you can intimidate me, mube pelefie." Those are words that are being quoted from the former Republican president, that's His Excellency Edgar Chagwalungu. Now, when you hear statements like this, Himba, what comes to your mind?
When I hear such statements, believe me, I get worried, and I really, it's worrying. Or maybe they can fear polite na mashu. Let me stop being economical with the words. It's embarrassing. Because this is not what we are looking for in the political arena. We are looking for men and women of integrity and the people who are going to follow the law and order and who are going to do their politics within their constitutional rights. But the people who are going to pursue their personal agenda, it makes us really to get worried because, according to the positions you have in society and the levels of exposure in education, intelligence, even the way you speak should be different, the things you say, and even the position, like for the former head of state to use words like Mube Perefie, we are not in a competition here. If he thinks it's his constitutional right to come back into politics and he's on the right side of the law, why can't he just come like he's coming to challenge somebody like he's bitter? He's welcome, but some of us, we are just worried. We don't want to see him bruised. We don't want, because by some politics back. He's actually exposed himself. I can say right now, Takulino at the head or the father of the nation, you can't talk to him. Muma politics, you go with the political language. No, it's a political world. People will fight for their political position, will fight for their political jackets. And whatever happens there, he'll be bruised. And for me, I would have basically loved him to stay back. And then, advise the statesman, it would have been good. But this language he's using, it's really worrying. And if he's coming into politics back to rule us, balasanga political environment na ichinja, because his time and this time na there are new political parties that are coming in. There are young people who are coming into politics. It's just a different scenario. But since he thinks he's suitable for this politics, he's welcome. But I'm a former head of state. You can't talk to me like that. No, that tafia bombe. And then I also want to react on the other point, Rollins, where you talked about one of the members of the parliament who was saying the UPND, they just want to divert the concentration of the Zambian people from major issues into just petty issues. I think for me, I'm a politicians that wabaleke this time, we are on their back. Agenda, then makumbali. We are not going to let it. And then they start portioning the blames. No, they are bringing this. This is not from the PF. This is not from the UPND. This is in the PF camp. All these wrangles are from the PF camp, and let it be in the PF camp. They shouldn't like UPND or Nationalist Party or Nkata. We are not going to accept. We know where it is coming from, and we know who is causing all these issues. This time, whoever causes any trouble, let them be responsible and let them be accountable. Okay. So we learn that UPND are diverting
Let us divert. Let us move away from Sim 1 PF. Let's go to Sim 2, where Mao Sampa is actually the starring of this one. We saw him give some sort of instructions to his members, and he said, number one, he actually wants to rebrand the party, and he has given instructions. First and foremost, those who have caught issues should stay away from the party so that they can sort themselves out while in doing so, they should not dent the name of the party as well. He has also given an instruction whereby some slogans like Akawawawa have been banned for use in the Patriotic Front. Wiseman, let me bring you in on this one. Do you think this is actually rebranding the party when you give instructions like this?
Yeah, I think according to themselves as the Patriotic Front and what they believe in, that is rebranding. Because rebranding depends on how you understand things. Because changing the slogan of whatever chanting and other things is not rebranding. You know, most of us Zambians, more especially these old folks, politicians we have in Zambia, there's something which they are behind with. The people of Zambia, when they remove a political party in power, they don't deny the name of a political party. No, they deny the people who were in that political party. So when you bring back the same people and you remove Akawawawa to the other thing, the same people who are chanting Akawawawa, the same people who are in the same boat, you are not doing anything. So as a result, you are going to think like you are rebranding.
What does it mean that it will look so bad this time around?
Akawawa can be understood by the same PF people because I've never used that. And in our 72 tribes of Zambia, I've never heard any tribe which comes with Akawawa and represent Akawawa as a tribe. So it is a 73rd tribe which the PF introduced to Zambian people when they were using that Akawawa and other chanting slogan they were using. So when they are rebranding, I'm happy with the way he has done things because most of the faces which he has brought in as the SG and other staffs, they are new faces. That is true rebranding. Not rebranding, you are bringing the same people who were rejected. Some of the members of parliament who even failed to win their constituencies. Those people rejected them lamentably, and you still bring them and you are thinking you are rebranding. So for me, the Akawawa and the other thing Mao Sampa is doing is not rebranding. The only rebranding I've seen, which is a genuine rebranding, is about changing the faces of people who are holding some of the office bearers.
Now, also, when you look at the consistency actually of Mao Sampa or Mao Sampa's faction, that is Sim2 PF, let us speak in all honesty. How many familiar faces can you see there? How many of the big names in PF holding key positions can you see there? How many members of the central committee can you see on his side? I think shouldn't we be worried to say it's like Mao Sampa is actually all alone on this one?
Yeah, I think that question which you have asked me, Lawrence, when President Michael Sata was forming PF, the only familiar face which was there in front of the PF, it was Michael Sata himself. Then he started bringing other people. So even right now, if you see the one who has been appointed to be leader of opposition, the MP, is a familiar face. If you see the MPs who have signed that petition which they have signed, 14 MPs haven't signed that document. So he still have the backing from other people. So as long as there's a familiar face called Mao Sampa, it's going to. We never denied the name Patriot Front. We denied those same familiar faces you want to see. So let them go and rest. Yes, they are the binoculars of this world and other things. So when you are blending, you have to change everything, comrade. You have to change everything.
Okay. I think let me bring in Himba on this one. Himba, trust me, I'm so shocked at the swiftness of this particular SG that Mao Sampa has brought in. I think everything is moving at supersonic speed. Morgan Ngona is actually making a very big name for himself. Let me ask my producer to just bring in a letter here where we can see he is writing to, he's writing to,
and he has very good writing skills. He's very.
Okay, let me continue on that one. We are seeing this letter where he's writing to KPMG to actually ask them to carry out a financial and assets forensic audit for the last 5 years. Going through this letter actually shows you some intent in levels of accountability that they want to have going forward. They want to know where the party stands when it comes to finances, how money has been spent over the last 5 years, how their assets are doing over the last 5 years. Himba, are we expecting anybody being found wanting in this one?
In Tonga we say agoka hive baliko sibangapite cheabo baliko abo ma wanted criminals, they are there. But however, what I would want to say is let me also appreciate that the SG for Sim 2, he's really very swift, and I think he's got his action plan done very well, because Orenkarato shide fuma ni tap every few hours fuma every so basically, he knows what he's doing and he knows what he wants. And the other camp, they should stop concentrating or looking from the outside. This team, I think, in Enabeshwefyo Balechta, even if Vareland at Tabeshwefyo Balechta, he's a nobody. Looking at the way they are pushing their pieces in this game, you would say that they know what they are doing, and Nabeshwoko Balefokuya, because look, quickly, Kudia Mao Sampa Balesha, no one should enter the secretariat, And I'm sure the other camp, because they haven't yet accepted that they're not in power, they thought they could manipulate the presence of the police officers. It didn't work. They decided to play it a victim. Meanwhile, their friends are pushing mafauzo vintu vienda bakalikuwaya waya quickly ileta yachoka bakalikuwaya waya quickly ileta yachoka. And as much as they may think Mao Sampa is all by himself, I think they're still in denial. Even when you see the people who were by that gate, Lawrence, if you see that the number is small, and it's a clear indication that Mao Sampa has gone with a certain number, and Kulinabaja who are not sure. So whether the PF, the Adada team are saying they still have numbers. At the moment, the numbers are going down. Ingamwamu na bantu bali na upageti in the past nganachi pampa. And then they should know that there are people who don't know where to go. There are people who've gone with Mao Sampa. So namuna bale isanga fye balibeka, and then batampa okulira n'okunfuisha oluse, but it's not gonna work. But Lawrence, this guy, he knows what he's doing, and whether we like it or not, if you talk about accountability in that letter, if you remember the MP for Mafinga, he even said at one point, Bali Bebati, Baletama 3 pin, all the MPs from PF, they do their constitutional review, which did not happen. So even when they are pushing this agenda of accountability in their party, they know what they are looking for. Nabeshwati, she impia apashali luba, ma properties apayali luba, but since we can't do it ourselves, let us go by the law. They know who they are targeting here. Just wait.
Mukelabai, while we're talking about finances and assets of the Patriotic Front, let me bring Mukelabai in. Would it be right for the other, let me say, PF presidential aspirants who had paid those 200 pins to have to be nominated for the position of president, to ask for their refunds if they believe Mr. Mao Sampa is actually not the right person for them? That's if everything is legitimized and Mao Sampa is confirmed as the president of the Patriotic Front. So would it be right for them to ask for their refunds? I want my 200 pin back. Would that be okay?
Yeah, depends. If Mao Sampa agrees as the leader, as the current leader, if Mao Sampa as the president of the party, if the party president, who is Mao Sampa, make a decision to say or find out according to that report he is asking for, the audit report, and discover that these people have just been scamming their own fellow people, purporting to be members of the Patriotic Front. They were acting as Patriotic Front presidents or whatever, yet they were busy scamming people. And then they discover through the audit that they were scamming. And definitely, if his heart is in the right place, he will definitely, it's not just them, those aspiring candidates, it will be Sampa as the president of the party, together with his team. They're going to sit down and say, let's refund those people whose money was stolen or taken pecuniary off. So they can actually do that. And those people, yes, if they had signed a disclaimer at the time when they were busy giving out the money, because we hear when Antonio Mwanza, before he left, he was saying this money that is being paid is non-refundable. Why were they in a hurry to talk about non-refundable when they knew that there was, you see, already it raised a lot of questions there. So
actually, in most cases, they express that the money is non-refundable. That means if you want, today you decide you want to stand, and during the run you decide to change your mind that you don't want to stand anymore, you cannot go and claim your money back.
Definitely, yeah, that could be the excuse, but definitely they actually have the right to go and get their money back if they discover that if at all what they had paid the money for is not coming to fruition. They paid the money so they can be candidates of they are candidates of the presidential candidate of the PF, and then suddenly there's no president that is coming forth. All they see is the former president coming back. And also Mao Sampa,
there's no money in the account.
Yes, upon seeing that Sampa, upon seeing that these guys, they were just busy manipulating manipulating the people and trying to destroy the party or stealing, he decided to step in, and to come and save the party. So I believe he is on the right trajectory, and those people who paid money, if they want their money back, they should put up a claim. It's up to the party president, the current party president, who in this case is Mao Sampa, to actually make a decision whether to give them back the money or not. Otherwise, Mao Sampa can simply produce the letter of non-refundable, whatever he meant, to say, sorry guys, you knew what you're doing and the money is gone. So forget Menelubinda, Bachile Mashere. So that's what will happen. Anyway, we know. I wanted to say something, Lawrence. I don't know if I'll be given a short time.
Okay, I'll make sure I do that. For now, I want us to switch to where the real game is actually happening in this whole circus that is at Parliament. Now, remember, the active SG, that is Mr. Morgan Ngona, had written to inform the clerk of parliament that they are changing the parliamentary chief whip for the opposition. That being that, we also heard that the actual chief whip who has been there, that is Honorable Brian Mundubile, had written to the clerk of the National Assembly to understand why the National Assembly was changing the chief whip for the opposition when they are supposed to vote. Now, today, we see the parliament, the clerk of parliament writing back to Honorable Brian Mundubile, informing him that they actually have no particular interest in all those things. Let me ask my producer to just bring up that later on the screen so that we can have a point of reference as we are talking. So let me just read in part the response from the clerk of National Assembly, which was addressed to Honorable Brian Mundubile. So it says, I have been directed to acknowledge with thanks receipt of your letter dated 30th October 2023 on the above subject matter whose content is duly noted. Kindly be advised that we are alive to the provisions of Article 74, Part 2 of the Constitution of Zambia, Cap 1 of the Laws of Zambia regarding the office of Leader of Opposition. As you have correctly stated in your letter, it is the political party with the largest number of seats in the National Assembly that elects the leader of the opposition from among the members of parliament who are from the opposition. However, the manner in which the election of the leader of the opposition is conducted is not of concern to the National Assembly, as it is an internal matter of the political party concerned. Let me also go further and read from the letter, and it says, as you are aware, sir, the precedence has been that the National Assembly is notified by the Secretary General of the political party the name of a person appointed as leader of the opposition. In this regard, I wish to inform you that the National Assembly is in receipt of a letter from Mr. Morgan Ngona, Secretary General of the Patriotic Front, informing the institution that Mr. Robert Chavinga, Member of Parliament of Mafinga constituency, has been appointed as the leader of the opposition. In view of the foregoing, the National Assembly will inform you of the next course of action regarding the matter in due course. End of quotation. So, our able Secretary General for SIM2 seemingly has already instigated changes to be made at parliamentary level regarding the leader of opposition. Himba, the clerk says they will inform us of the next course of action. Where do you think this situation is going? If you can predict.
Definitely, the MP for Mafinga will be the leader of the opposition, because I'm so impressed with the SG. Look, he's following things by law, and if you see their petition pad, as Wiseman said, there's a group of MPs that have not signed that petition they've done, but we should not forget that the other team has been recognized and they've got the papers as the leaders of the PF. And if you read carefully from the letter from the National Assembly, it says the way the leader is elected, it's none of Parliament's business, because that happens within their political party, and this political party is the one that has the majority seat in the opposition. So ku parliament baleta chezina kuti izina yetaleta ni, and then parliament who acknowledge and endorse. So now they are trying to drag parliament into their mess, and work parliament they are saying no. In business yano manje kange uku bamaozi Samba and the team, they've been recognized as the leaders, and they've written so we wait. But I'm seeing the new leader for the opposition will be recognized, the MP for Mafinga. I'm seeing him going through. Let's watch and see. Rollins.
Okay, let me also give a chance to Wiseman to react to this one.
I don't know if you are able to get me. My network is very bad. Are you getting me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Please go on.
Okay, thank you very much, comrade. I think for me, one thing which I've observed in this PF Edgar Lungu given Luvinda Red group, they like leading. I don't even know how they make it to have the top certificates when they were being filing for standing as MPs. Because if you have seen how many problems they have caused due to lack of leading, they are the same group of people who sat in the office or when the constitution was saying you should vacate the office, and the court ruled against them. So reading is part of their bad culture. They even forgot how they appointed Munduvile to be leader of the opposition. If you have observed the way Mao Sampa is doing things, is reading. Is even posing. I saw when he posted a PF constitution, how it talks about when someone resigned. Honestly speaking, Mao Sampa is playing with them on paper. They are playing on the sympathy of understanding things. And mostly, in all occasions, when you're dealing with a court is not a court of justice, but it's a court of evidence. So when you are laying evidence on the table, you are going to win the case. But if you are just talking by mouth, you are going to be a victim. So this Edgar Lungu given Luvinda Red PF, it's something else anyway.
Let's. Oh, Mukelabai has disappeared on us. All the same now. Let us look at a situation whereby Mr. Chawinga actually is confirmed as the leader of opposition. How is he going to lead the opposition in parliament when quite a number of them don't even seem to agree to the fact that he is the leader of opposition? Mukelabai, thank you that you are back. I'm trying to bring you on this one. And I'll repeat because you have just come in the studio. Let us look at a situation whereby we have Mr. Chawinga, that is the honorable member of parliament for Mafinga, is confirmed as the leader of opposition. How do you think he's going to work with the other opposition members of parliament, especially those from the Patriotic Front, knowing that they seem to be not in tandem when it comes to who is in charge and who is leading the party?
Is that question addressed to me?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, even the honorable member of parliament of Chawinga, or the one who will be elected as a leader of opposition, is from UPN, is from PF, isn't it? So those other members of parliament, they just have to find ways to work with their friend, their colleague. We have not heard any problems from the opposition, from the members of parliament of UPND or independent. This confusion is in PF, isn't it?
Exactly.
So they have to find a way. Yes.
Go on.
They have to find a way to be able to work together. They are human beings. They are adults. they are of sane mind, we expect them to find a solution, a workable solution where they can come together and work. Because what is currently happening is that they are affecting, their wrangles going to affect their own constituencies, people that elected them. It was not Lungu that elected these people. It was not any other person or Mayo Sampa that elected them. They were elected by the people. They are in parliament because they won, and they happened to be the winners and came to parliament. Therefore, their interest should go beyond, should go above the politics in their the drama in their political parties. They have to look at the main interest. Their focus should be representing the people, what the people of their constituencies want, and let them table those issues in front on the house, so that the issues are tabled. And right now we have serious matters in the country that needs serious attention. We have CDF that needs to be distributed. We have other people, other constituencies that never received enough or fully their CDFs. This is where these MPs should look at and concentrate on. There's a lot of developmental issues, projects that needs to be taken in their constituencies. Why should they go back and start politicizing and start fighting just because one individual wants to come back into power, or other people who are not even in the parliament, who were rejected? Most of them, like people like Lungu, was rejected, by the way, by the majority Zambian, about 1 million. So he does not hold any position right now, apart from the former president. So it will be a sheer waste of time. It will be a sheer waste of time for him to come back and cause this confusion. Mayo Sampa, he earned his position. Mayo Sampa has expressly stated from the beginning, from the onset. If anything, I believe Mayo Sampa was the first individual who actually paid the presidential fee, the 200,000. We all saw that. So his intentions have been known from the word go. So they thought they were going to make him an underdog. They were going to step on his rights. They were going to silence him, like what they did in 2014. Unfortunately, this time around, he thought through. He is right ahead of time, because he knows that in his political party, many people do not, many of those people who were purporting to be in leadership did not mean well, did not carry the vision of the political party they are claiming to be patriotic to. So unfortunately, he went ahead and did what he did. We all know he is now the party president, and the government is in receipt of all the legal documentation. Right now, it's Mayo Sampa who has been elected to be the party president of the political party that we know, the biggest majority political party. So if people chose to stay away from his campaign or his meetings or his election or his convention, it should not be our business. For as long as he legitimately stood there and did what he did under the name of PF, he is now president. So
let me try and bring in Himba on this one. Himba, I'm going to ask you and earnestly ask you to just tell us, why is it that the UPND is so much in support of Mayo Sampa and not the other camp? That is, they are so much in support of Sim 2 and not Sim 1 of the PF. Bearing in mind that if both sides, that's Sim 1 and Sim 2, were not so friendly with the government, they were so much opposing the government, I think UPND should not worry and should not mind who it is. They should look at both sides and say they are one and the same. Why is it that the UPND is very excited and so much in support of Mayo Sampa?
I'm going to answer you honestly, Nshapitena Mumbali Naine, I'm going to answer you because this is an opinion. It's a question you've asked that has no facts that the UPND are celebrating or they are supporting Simwan. But I'm going to answer Naine Mulirevo and the Iabututu. I'm going to answer you, Lawrence. But you have no proof that the UPND are
I think
supporting.
it's visible. We can go online. Majority of UPND members are actually very much celebrating that Mao Sampa is in charge of the Patriotic Front.
I'm also aware there are PF people who are supporting that Mao Sampa has actually taken over because they are seeing sanity in their party. But I don't know who is the majority and who is no. But I'm going to answer. We are celebrating as Zambians that Mao Sampa, he's not one of the people we rejected as a presidential candidate during the elections. The Simwan team, they are imposing a Dada whom was rejected by the majority Zambians. And when you talk about a Dada whom they've brought, the moment you see a Dada, you are seeing Kadalism. The moment you see a Dada, you are seeing Magas. Bakapokola like we saw banabwela cheni last week adada kwa announcer mailo tawana na makadazi bambo control ama traffic bakapokola babwela bamba no and even propaganda. Yes, if you saw the propaganda that was there after our dada coming into the arena, no banishuta live bullet, there was no live bullet. And may I say thank you and well done to the police officers that there was nobody who was killed. And we saw other the officials from Adada's camp, live bullet. Those are the things we don't want. Team from Adada wanati pitisamo. We saw people dying. We saw people being killed. We saw women being humiliated, insulted. That's not what we want. So the moment we hear the name of Wadada, that comes into our mind. And even now, hear his arrogance. Hear the way he's speaking. There's no way we would want to have a leader who's going to be this is not a challenge. We want a leader who's going to think of the Zambian people. We want a leader who's not going to play it victim, because now they are daring the government and they are playing it a victim, even like what is happening now within themselves. This is a party problem. Whatever they are going through PF, it has been created by Adada. Adada, like a silent move. Meanwhile, those who are wise and who could read in between the lines, they read it. He said that resignation, people refused his resignation letter, and then he was told to go on leave, and he accepted, and then he's now back. It's not making sense. This is why we are saying, when we are not celebrating, but basically Adada for Zambian people is not the best option. When we look at Wadada and Maus is the better option than Adada, because Wadada wanatisunga, we know wanati pitsamu, and we've gone through a lot with Adada. No one would want to go back to that. And Stifuna matie gas. Women to be humiliated, to be insulted. We don't want that. We don't want cadalism. And that's why you are seeing us coming out very strong, because we are seeing hope in Honorable Mao Sampa that probably he's going to bring sanity. And the way he's carrying things, there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. So the UPND camp is not celebrating. If anything, the UPND party is not interested what is happening in the PF camp. We are not even interested. We are not, we don't even want to have any hand. But because the UPND is in government, they have to preside when it comes to the law. But PF because I am institutions, your government, and a wise person somewhere said, when you are in power, always make sure that you empower the institutions so that when you're out of power, those institutions will defend you and will stand up for you. So, I submit. We are not celebrating, no.
Let me also channel the same question to Wiseman.
Okay, thank you, comrade. Your question was phrased very well, in a long way. I'm going to speak it on myself, not on behalf of UPND. As an individual, why am I celebrating the victory of Mao Sampa compared to Edgar Lungu and given Lubinda's led faction? The answer is very simple, comrade. If you observe the two, we, the UPND, and I myself, I believe in people who follow the law, not people who just pick things as personal to order. If we were to ask those same people who are queuing from former President Edgar Lungu, if today President Hakainde Hichilema were to say, I've resigned, I've gone to my farm to go and continue farming. He left the country in the hand of our Vice President, Madam Taina Rumango. In the next 3 months, Hakainde Hichilema comes back and says, Taina Rumango, you are taking the country in a wrong way. I am back. I want to be a president. Are you sure? Is there any Zambian in this country who can say, okay, send the presidency? You discover that the so what is good and bad in UPND should be good and bad in PF. If President Lungu resigned, why should we come back and take the chair?
Allow me to guide you a little bit on that one. We are looking at, even before the return of His Excellency Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, before he even announced his return, when the news for Mao Sampa broke out, that was last week, everything seemed to have gone frenzy, and everybody seemed to have gone frenzy. That is what I'm talking about.
What?
Even before the former president returned to active politics, there seemed to be a frenzy over the whole PF issue. So I think driving Mr. Lungu into the reasons why people are happy, I think maybe are a little bit unfair.
Do you know if today Sunday Chanda were to be brought himself to be a PF president, most of the people, in fact, even UPND member will support that member of parliament to be a president. If today this JJ were to be put himself to be in a chopping board of being a president, sometimes being in opposition is not you to be emotional. Being in opposition is to be giving checks and balances to build the government as a country. But if you see the confusions in the PF, even before the coming of Edgar Lungu, we are following what themselves they are laying on the table. They said, can you pay money if you want to be the president? Then people paid. People paid. And after people paid, no one knows where that money has gone. So if people can misuse their own party personal money, what do you think can happen to the national coffers? It's in a mess. If they can fail to account for their own personal money, which they contributed among themselves, by abantu leteni mpia muzonke kwa convention, abantu bazonka, and then she then drama na papa wa ishiboko shaya na convention itakwaba elo ushazonke kwe mpia ewa abwera tina senda presidents. Now imagine those people, you trust them with the national affairs. What do you expect from their behavior? They have shown you. That's why we had the money from Eurobond. No one knows where that money has gone. And a lot of things. FTJ University. So for me, we are supporting Mao Sampa because he's following the law somehow compared to the other faction.
Interestingly, now that you have mentioned the Eurobonds, you can actually pin it down on Mao Sampa himself. He was the deputy minister in the Ministry of Finance when they were obtaining that Eurobond. And he was one of the people that were busy championing for that Eurobond. Don't you think he's one of the people that should be answerable for that Eurobond, to be specific?
Yeah, Mao Sampa was part and parcel of the people who misused money for our Eurobond, just like the way today, if you call Chavinga to say you were part and parcel of the people who chewed my 200,000, it's part and parcel, but because he's in the junior rank, he has got nothing to decide. If you ask today, Sunday Chanda, where did the 200,000 people contributed went? He won't even give you an answer. So even the same Mao Sampa, by the time the Eurobond were coming, he was just in a junior rank and he had no any power to control anyone. He was just looking what was happening. So that's why you have seen even today, Mao Sampa has coming and filed in to say he wants the auditors to audit the party to know where the money or other money has gone, how much is remaining. So you can see that if he was in the driving seat, things would have been better, because he wants something transparent. That's why no one can even report him to police to say, even in his mayoral, in his whole political career, he has got no such kind of bad record. So that's why somehow, as ordinary Zambians like myself, I can give him support even if I don't believe in PF and I'll never believe in PF. I can just give an individual support so that maybe he can bring a different type of leadership.
Okay, let me bring in Mukelabai, and I hope that what you had said you wanted to say earlier on, you can also say it while I give you this chance. It's a similar question, and I'm reading from the News Diggers newspaper, that is today's News Diggers, where Honorable Garin Kombo is saying it is our duty to make sure that PF is weakened, and we are glad they are helping us. What do you make of that statement?
I mean, he's right. PF is the rival party with UPND. And when there is confusion in the party, that gives UPND an upper hand, more upper hand, if anything. And when we see them, when UPND sees PF in a self-destruction mode, I think they are just celebrating and say, this is what we told you so. This is what we said to you, the Zambian people, that these people are not trustworthy. This is what they are capable of doing. And look, if they cannot manage their own political party, imagine what they can do to the nation. Imagine what they have done, what they did to the nation when they had power. Now, these are the people that you are busy celebrating, going around dancing with to say we want them back. Are you sure, Zambians, that you want the same people to be back? Are you sure in your own straight mind? Do you want the same faces to come back and haunt you again, give you the secondary trauma again? So this is what is, I'm just saying that the UPND, they want to see something change, some kind of change, not just the UPND, all the Zambian people. We want to see change. We want change. We wanted change. And now to see that the people that inflicted pain and suffering onto us are the same people who are now busy gallivanting the street and wants to cause more harm to the Zambian people. It pains. So we are happy to see trouble. We are happy to say old habits die hard. We are happy to see them, to see their old habits are coming back before they are even put in the office of the government within their own political party. Rebranding that they have been talking about, have been singing about, has not happened. Remorsefulness to say for whatever wrong things they did to the country has never happened. Repentance, it has never happened. It is barely 2 years. Look at them. They think they have been untouched. They think while their cases are still going on in court, they think these cases are not going anywhere. They think now they are back. They have now the power. Lungu has not been touched by any. He hasn't been touched yet. Lungu hasn't been bruised yet. Lungu hasn't been indicted. Wait until Lungu is indicted. That's when you see. Right now, he has not been, nobody. It's only the wife, the children that have been indicted. He has immunity. And the moment the immunity issue is dealt with, definitely Lungu is going to be indicted. And once he's indicted, what happened? He will definitely go in until the court probably exonerate him. So he thought by having not been touched or questioned, he thought or he thinks he is now evaded justice. He's gone. Nobody, because Zambians, they've forgotten. Now he wants to come back. Oh, that's why many Zambians, they're saying this was a mistake that the former president has made. Now, my message, I want to share this message to the UPND. The UPND, somehow, the UPND government, the government of HH, somehow they are part to blame. Why am I saying so? You have treated these guys with baby gloves for a long time. I don't know what you are scared of. I don't know whether you don't have enough evidence. I don't know whether you are or you are also falling into the same ditch. I don't know that maybe there are certain individuals who are now gotten into corrupt activities and now they're feeling shy to pursue their former colleagues who were corrupt. I don't know why we took this long, why we are not coming out vigorously and quench this, because they are coming back because they see that you guys are toothless. They can run around because they see that you guys in office are doing nothing. You have left a fight of corruption to only one individual. In this case, the head of state. He cannot fight the corruption alone. Most of these appointments that we have seen, it has been 2 years. We have not heard not even a single person coming forward to condemn or even bring out evidence. We haven't even gotten any conviction. The only thing we hear are the nolle prosecutes. Nolle has been entered. You relieve a murderer, suspect, or a conspirator, whatever, the person that conspired in a murder case, you issue them, you give them a nolle prosecutes, and they come back and actually start haunting you, insulting you. Why? UPND government, I know that you are busy trying to bring the economy to life, to resuscitate, but you are forgetting that the people that actually choked this nation are the ones who are busy sabotaging your work so that you avoid pushing them, pursuing them, and they are winning. So please wake up, come back to reality. Don't be cowards. Unless you are also involved in corrupt activities, that's why you see that you are quiet, we are not pushing, but push. Let us have the immunity of this gentleman, Edgar Changwalungu, being removed. Let him go before the courts of law. Because you, the UPND, told us, the government, that he stole a lot. He destroyed the nation, and we see.
I'm so sorry that I have to cut. I'm so sorry that I have to cut you short on that one, Mukelabai. We are unfortunately running so much out of time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a chance to the both of you to give your closing remarks so that we can start winding up. Let me start with you, Mukelabai, so that you can conclude and give your closing remarks. Please make it in just under a minute.
Thank you. The UPND government should be proactive especially all members that have been elected, that have been appointed, all you guys in offices, I think it's high time you became active. We have not seen any results so far. We want to see results. That's why you see now abasamwa abantu twaleeta bakabolala abantu abawonawira ekyalo tulebeeta balitonawira ekyalo leero balebwela imwe namwikala on your watch. Do something. I know it is also paining. It is also painful to you too. But you have been so comfortable in those aircons. Don't leave this fight for against corruption to one individual only. No, everyone should be involved. Imweba PF, sort out your problems within your party. We, the Zambian people, want peace. We want to see sanity. We don't want Kadarism. We refused. Mr. Lungu, Mr. What's his name? Sampa. Nurture your people. Find common grounds. Sit down on the table. Discuss. This hate of exchanging words and letters will not take you anywhere. You are going to start Malambo Fuembana, which will be very, very, very bad. So please find a solution, because your noise in your party is saturated our minds. It is too much noise, and you are disturbing our peace in our country. So with those few words, I'll say thank you for having me.
All right, thank you so much. Himba, under a minute.
Thank you so much. All I'd love to say is to our comrades in the PF party that please be careful who you support, be careful who you put your neck on the chopping board for, because you are going to remain alone and no one will be there for you. I'm so happy that Adada has come back into the active politics, and I'm seeing a lot of Bajamakadas, Benzevana Bisama, Mahadiko, Benzevana Bisama, they will come back with a notion behind their backs that they'll be protected because Adada used to protect them. But just a word of reminding them that Adada is no longer in power and he can't control the systems and he can't protect you the way he protected you then. So for now, look after yourself before you put the chopping board for him, because he's pushing his personal agenda. You also push your own personal agenda. You know, he protected them, he did, and I'm sure now, and you know, in one way or another, I may say this is good, because twala bengi barya abaira abalefisama abaletina barya abale ekitefya muwe selofu, they will come out in open, and then the policeman will be on them, and which will mean it will be the cleaning of the country and cleaning up of the system, and then we are going to separate the sheep from the goats. Be careful who you put your neck on the chopping board for. I submit.
All right, there you have it. We thank you so much for having tuned in and having joined us. We also want to thank everybody who's been sending messages. We can take note of Mr. Dexter, who is watching us via YouTube. We can take note of Mr. Ruben, who is watching us via Facebook, and everybody else. We thank you so much for your support. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, though we have a lot of things to talk about with regards to this topic. Now, what is happening right now? We have Mr. Given Rubinda live on Prime TV right now. We also have Mr. Mao Sampa live, I think on Diamond TV, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a frenzy. This whole episode is still happening. Please make sure you stay tuned, stay informed, and remember, Ubuntu channel is there to bring you such live debates. And thank you so much for joining us on behalf of my producer upstairs, Mr. Emmanuel Nkunika, and everybody who was on the panel, including Mr. Wiseman, who has disappeared on us. We say good night, and remember to keep watching Ubuntu channel.